Welcome to the Colorful Clipboard, where we discuss the building blocks of making dough in childcare. I'm Kate.
And I'm Carrie.
Welcome back to Colorful Clipboard, and we are so excited to talk to y'all this afternoon or this morning, or depending on whenever you pull up our track today. And today we are going to talk a little bit, or at least probably a good 20 minutes, about teacher appreciation. As a director, this kind of ranks pretty high up there in your ability for staff morale, and to make sure that your teachers feel appreciated. And unfortunately, this doesn't mean Director Appreciation Day, because, that isn't necessarily a thing. And
I think it needs to be. Maybe we should send something to the calendar people saying, we declare this date International Early Childhood Directors Day.
I love that idea. So we have our own personal advocacy thing now to work on. But as a director, this is your job. And if you are not the owner, then down the road, perhaps maybe your owner will do something for you. But I think the owner and parents are only going to take the lead if you show them by example that how important these teachers are. If you had listened to our Valentine's Day episode, you might have heard Carrie and I go off on a huge tangent that we kind of nipped in the bud. So now we're giving that tangent its own episode, and we hope that it answers some questions and gives you some really good ideas that you can put into practice in your own program. So, Carrie, where would you start when you start thinking about teacher appreciation? Not so much what you've done in the past, but maybe some ahas that you've had since our episode in January.
Well, I mean, the first one is that we need to be putting this in every parent handbook from now until doomsday. It needs to be on the same page as the list of days that you're closed, because that's a page they flip to in the handbook on a regular basis because they want to know when you're closed.
And if you could do color, even better. Or I like the idea of even putting a block around it. But I think what's really important when it comes to taking a look at Teacher Appreciation Day on a calendar is making sure to plan ahead. So
it's like Christmas. You should not be doing all your shopping the day before. And there are multiple times to appreciate our staff. There is Week of the Young Child, which is typically also tied to advocacy, right? And that's in April. What were those dates, Kate?
So in 2020, it starts on April 10th.
No, 2021.
For 2021, it starts on April 10th. But remember, Week of the Young Child, although a lot of times we will appreciate our teachers during that really is an early childcare advocacy week. That's what the NAEYC, the National Association for the Education of Young Children, that is that purpose, right? It's more about bringing awareness of early child care education. But we do often see people appreciate their teachers that week.
Yeah.
The other date that is where it often happens, and part of this happens because if you have kids in public school or elementary school, maybe not even public, but in elementary school, a lot of times parent-teachers organizations will do something that first week of May, so May 3rd to the 10th, for Teacher Appreciation Week. And so I'm going to strongly encourage you as a child care director to embrace the Teacher Appreciation Week, because we really do want early childhood educators to be viewed as educators and as teachers and as professionals. So let's give them the recognition they're due. And
absolutely,
make sure that you as a director go, okay, so that's the first week in May. What can I do? When do I need to start prepping? How can I make this? How can I let them know that I appreciate them? What is my budget? And is this just my responsibility? So, Carrie, where does this responsibility for the teachers to feel appreciated fall, do you think?
I mean, it's definitely a director responsibility, but it should also be a parent responsibility. And I think Teacher Appreciation Day is great. And I think that should be a parent responsibility primarily. And Kate and I are big fans of having a classroom parent for every classroom, because again, this is something you can delegate. You don't need to do it. And have them send out a message, or if you can't get parents to do it, you send out a message saying, next week is Teacher Appreciation Week. Please make sure that all of your teacher appreciation gifts are in before Thursday at 3 p.m. And here is a list of things for your classroom's teacher that they have said are their interests or the things that they like. So at your annual, what's it called? The thing where you sit down with the staff person and you talk about their strengths and weaknesses. What the heck is that called, Kate?
Staff evaluation?
There you go. At the annual staff evaluation and goal setting, you're asking them for them to tell you what are some interests that they currently have, what are snacks that they like, what do they like to drink, if they can go out for dinner somewhere, where would they like to go, and where do they like to grab something on the go. Those kinds of questions, and you put it in a form, or you have them fill out the form before they come to the meeting. And then you have that for the next year for their anniversary, work anniversary, their birthday, any holidays that you give presents for, and to give the parents for teacher appreciation.
It's also helpful if you're one of those centers that do things like, I'm going to call it Secret Santa, even though I know different people call it different things, but that can also be shared there. So, yeah. So what's really nice with that is, I have one really awesome friend who, her daughter has been good about getting me these kinds of things. And as a family, they are so close, it's kind of scary, but yet so far away that it makes me go, yep, not happening. So, like, if somebody knows I like chocolate, they need to know that I like dark chocolate, but not like dark chocolate. Like, does that make sense? Like, I love it because I do like wine and chocolate. I do not like red wine, and I do not like 96% cocoa dark chocolate.
So yeah, I have the teachers like list actual candy bars. Like, if you like Cadbury's milk chocolate or you like Lind 80% dark chocolate, I don't care which one it is, but I want to know that I'm buying you the right thing on your work anniversary. So for me, it's that I'm not a shopper. I'm not.
Yeah, but it also makes the teacher feel like it's a personalized gift. I mean, again, I've had students who, I got a candle, but so did every other teacher.
Yep.
That kind of a gift. And again, if you're a candle person, this might be awesome. But if you're not a candle person, then it ends up in your box in your closet of future white elephant gifts. And that's just sad because they were trying to show you that they appreciated you.
The number of coffee cups I have been given over the years. I'm like, have you ever seen me drink coffee? Anybody? Has anybody ever seen me drink coffee? Ever in my entire life? The answer is no. So why do they give me coffee cups?
But even if you did drink coffee or you do drink tea, again, how many of those do you need? And I'm just. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna pick on my husband because he can't hear me, and he probably won't listen to this episode. But like, I collect Christmas teddy bears. Every Christmas, that particular year, I want a bear that's significant with the date on it. So, and this was started by one of my godparents in 1986. So yes, you can math that I have a lot of Christmas bears. Well, somehow my husband interpreted this as that I really like teddy bears. And so I started getting one for everything and sometimes multiples for everything. So Valentine's Day, Godiva does one, used to do one also for Halloween and Easter. And, when I graduated with my master's degree, I'm like, seriously, it's like, one a year, not 12. So, definitely having some conversations with your staff is awesome. And I love turning it back to the parents. But even with that, it's really helpful as a director when you're sending out kind of email reminders to the parents is to remind the parents to get the child involved. So the things that mean the most to me, because I love to eat, is when the child makes me a bag of snack mix or candied pecans or that kind of, or they picked out the flowers. I mean, I'm never going to be opposed to some fresh flowers. But again, things to think about when you're communicating with the parents is that personal touch. And I realize that some people get to be really, really busy, which is why Carrie's list of which candy bars. I mean, seriously, if you know my 4 favorite candy bars or my 2 favorite candy bars, if you can't go by CVS or even 7-Eleven at the gas station getting gas on your way to take your child on Teacher Appreciation Week, you can grab a couple candy bars, right? I mean, this is
Yeah.
not, it doesn't have to be fancy.
I mean, you can also include for the parents who are deeds of service is their love language. You could put something on about a type of craft that they enjoy. And so I had a parent who painted me a t-shirt one year. I wore that thing for 20 years.
Yep.
Because every time, and Kate knows the exact t-shirt, because deeds of service is my love language, and this person had done a deed of service for me, and I just thought it was great. She also made me a Christmas wreath out of Mustang grape vines, which hangs on my front door every year for various holidays. So you can put that in, but another thing I would put in the questionnaire for your staff is what makes them feel pampered. For some people, it's a manicure or a pedicure or getting to go to a movie without their children. Or, a one-on-one session with a personal trainer. I don't care what the thing is, but if I have that on my list, then I can make a decision when it's time to give them some appreciation for their anniversary of working for me. And I can give them that pampered thing if my budget allows me for that year to give them the pampered thing. And if not, then nobody that year is getting the pampered thing and everybody's getting the craft thing or the smell thing or the taste thing, right? What's your favorite thing to drink? What's your favorite thing to smell? What's your favorite candy? What makes you feel pampered? What are your hobbies? If you ask these questions, you've got enough for the parents and for yourself, because you should be appreciating throughout the year.
I feel like I should send the answer to all of those questions to family members who ever buy me a gift. Even people who theoretically have known me for 51 years.
Like I said, my brother gave me coffee cups 3 times in the last 5 years. 3 times in 5 years. He has known me all of the years of my life. He is my big brother.
That's okay. I always laugh when people give me a Christmas ornament and it's the same one they've given me 3 other times. So, anyway, so obviously Carrie and I can share with you our what not to do stories. But the other thing, now Carrie, you used to do this with your staff, and I know that when you did it early on, part of the reason you did it was, well, financial, right? And so during Teacher Appreciation Week, yes, there are days for your students to bring things in. I always love to feed people. And Carrie, you had a great solution when money was tight on how you handled feeding your staff. Would you share that for me?
Are you talking about a spaghetti dinner?
Yeah, when you would bring it at lunch?
Yeah, so I would just say, oh, I've got to go run an errand. And I would go home and make some spaghetti because I had made the sauce in the crock pot overnight. And I bring in the crock pot and the noodles and some garlic bread that was nicely wrapped up in tinfoil so it stayed hot, and salad in a giant bowl with 4 different kinds of dressing because people are weird. And it cost what maybe in today's, cost, maybe it was $20 and I could feed 10 people. So that's $2 a head. I think I can handle it even in the most financially strapped time. If you're really strapped, don't do the garlic bread. That's the most expensive part of the whole meal is the garlic bread. And you can get a baguette for $2. So
I think that that's really, really important. And again, it would be great if everybody knew what their love language was and every director knew how to incorporate love languages into appreciation. But if you don't and you're not really sure, that's okay. We're not expecting you to be an expert. So just try something different every day. It could be something fun and silly, like the teachers get to wear crazy shirts and crazy hats to work that day. Again, we know that kids love dressing up, so why not give the teachers their opportunity that week to do something crazy? They can have their own spirit week. And
The
again,
4 p.m.
spirit week doesn't
dance
cost you
party.
anything. Oh yeah, an after
The
work
4 p.m. dance party.
or again, breakfast is a lot of times really cheap. Sometimes you can get parents to do donuts, or you can do something. But I mean, theoretically, I mean, let's think through. We all love HEB, but what does a dozen HEB donuts cost? $5? I mean, come on. I mean, again, think through how can you as a director, again, budget ahead of time, plan ahead of time, do something for them in the morning, do something for them in the middle of the day, do something for them at the end of the day, because if you have part-time staff, you don't want them to feel left out.
Right.
When I was in the medical profession, I worked a third shift, which was night shift, and we never got, any of the nurse appreciation, any of those things. We never got them because, man, they were devoured by the day shift. So even if you were evening shift, you might have gotten the leftovers, but trust me, by 11 p.m. there was nothing left. And
go ahead.
No, that's okay. That was kind of where I was ending, so again, homemade cookies, making, spaghetti, buying a box of cheap donuts. I love the dance parties, teacher spirit week. I mean, these are all things that really don't cost you a lot of money.
And then there's what I call caught in the act. Because yes, we want to appreciate them on their special days, their birthday, their work anniversary, the teacher week. But also, when they've just had a week where the stomach flu has ripped through their classroom and they didn't break down in tears or scream at anybody during that week, then giving them that candy bar during that week. And I had, I probably still have it around somewhere, was like 100 ways to show appreciation for under $1. And it was things like, you're a lifesaver, and you gave them a roll of lifesavers. Or that, what they did was going above and beyond. And you say, I wish I could give you a real $100,000. And then you give them $100,000 bar. If you're a sewer, sewing up little bags like that you would put on a wine bottle, you can give people little things anytime you catch them having had a rough week or having done something extraordinarily wonderful. And if you're catching them throughout the year, it's going to do amazing things for your staff morale.
Absolutely. So,
and Kate would probably do it she has her drawer full of $5 gift certificates to all kinds of places.
Well, I was actually going to suggest that you have a drawer full of these kinds of things. So,
right. Yeah, I had a candy drawer. Kate has gift card drawer. It works the same. I'm just much more of a carb hog than she is.
Well, and now I do a lot of patches and pins and those kinds of things. And in reality, in today's climate, it might even be that I found some cute masks. I mean, it's really hard to say what I would do in a work setting today. I might have lots and lots of little bottles of alcohol. You just never know, depending on my staff. Oh, this looks like a fireball day. I'm dropping that off in Susie's office. So after work. After work.
This is not a lunchtime gift.
These are not lunchtime gifts. So these are Friday afternoon gifts. Anyway, hopefully you were able to come up with a list of ideas that are going to work for you. If you've got some great ones that you've used that we didn't share, we'd love to hear about it. You can share it on our Instagram or on our Facebook page, or just email us at hello@colorfulclipboard.com and share us your ideas. We'd love to hear them. Who knows, maybe your idea we share on the next episode.
Thanks so much. Share with your friends, and goodbye. Thank you for listening to Colorful Clipboards. Connect with us on social media at Colorful Clipboard or send us an email to hello@colorfulclipboards.
Send us your voicemail with your own questions and stories. If you want to keep learning with us, visit Texas Director, where we continue to have seminars, licensing, programs, and more.
This show has been made by me, Carrie Casey, and Kate Young, with assistance from Hallie Casey and Marie Young. If you learned something today, share the show.